Welcome to the Balls Not Court podcast. Cortez is here. I got Kevin Carter as he
rushed
me.
The fastest countdown ever.
I know, as he rushed me to hit the record button, but none other.
Why the hell is there Easter stickers on the table?
I don't know, maybe because you have a young son in there.
Probably. Probably.
Anyways, Kevin, hello. I know you're busy and today helping out with your family in Easter, and you come here and give us at least a little bit of time to talk about
Happy sport. Easter.
Everybody, yes. Good Friday, and then now we're going into Easter, so it should be...
What should they call Saturday?
I don't know what they should call Saturday.
Good Friday.
Good Friday.
Wait a minute Saturday.
Wait a minute Saturday. It's not bad.
Any minute now Saturday.
That's pretty good.
Wait till you see what happens tomorrow Saturday.
Just wait for it Saturday. There's a lot we can go up, but now, it's Easter weekend here, and everybody's spending time with their family.
He's almost out Saturday.
He's almost out Saturday. Oh, man. Any reason to try to make up what we can try to find to be Saturday. But
one more day.
One more day. How cool is it that the Final Four is on Easter weekend?
Weird. Usually it's not. It's just, they said if the full moon would have happened 12 hours later, it would have been on the next, or 2 weekends from now, Easter would have been instead of this weekend. I don't know how they calculate Easter, because sometimes it's in March, and sometimes it's in April.
Last year it was on 420. To talk about an oxymoron, you have a holiday of Jesus, and then you have people that partake.
Jesus wasn't the only thing getting high that day.
Yeah, partake in stoner activities on 420, so it gave people a reason to get out of church and go smoke, I guess.
Exactly.
But it's funny nonetheless. But anyway, let's talk about some of this Final Four that we got going on. Pretty good one. You got Wisconsin versus Kentucky, Duke versus Michigan State. I want to get your initial thoughts on the matchup.
Wisconsin, Kentucky, I'm looking forward to because it's your typical run-of-the-mill, point-blank, fundamental ball club against your superstar ball club. You want to call Kentucky that. Wisconsin relies more on their outside shooting. They do have an inside presence, which I'm curious to watch how he goes at Cauley Stein and all of them other gigantic big people that Kentucky has. It'll be interesting to see, but Kentucky's got their hands full as far as it comes from Wisconsin in their shooting range. They got big men that can shoot that are going to pull out guys. But Kentucky can also switch on almost every possession because their 7-footers can guard almost everybody. So that one's going to be an entertaining matchup. Duke, Michigan State, it's going to be an entertaining matchup coaching-wise. It's probably the best matchup they got in the Final Four. Izzo, the job he did with Michigan State to get them from a 7th seed and push them into the Final Four, it's amazing the job he does every single year in and year out. And Duke has arguably the best player that's left in Okafor. So you can argue otherwise if you want to argue Kentucky guys or Wisconsin guys, but arguably he's one of the better guys in the tournament.
Right. Yeah, I like the matchup as what you say because you got Kentucky that's their average height is about 6'10", which would make them, if they're playing NBA,
their average height's what we call big.
Yeah, big. So they would be the 3rd biggest team in the NBA if they were just doing it by height. I'm not trying to say like everybody's thinking Kentucky can play the NBA. I'm not saying that. I'm just using the height reference that they're probably the 3rd biggest team if they was playing the NBA. So that's also an interesting prospect side of it because, like Kevin said, they can guard the perimeter. But you also got Wisconsin that their big man can shoot pretty well as guards, and he can actually dribble the ball for his size, which is pretty incredible. So he's talented. I like what he did against Arizona. It was fun to watch. This kid is something to watch. Now I don't know how his game would translate to the pros, but I'm interested to see how he does take him in this matchup here because you're playing a couple of prospects that's going to go to the NBA, so you really get to test your game and see. And see how you make yourself. But they got a fun team to watch. Decker is also fun to watch.
Yeah, Kaminsky's retarded. He won AP Player of the Year yesterday.
Yeah, Nigel was also a player to watch. But you got You got Carvey Towns. You got on the other side, you have the Harrison twins. So it's a fun matchup because everybody talking about Kentucky undefeated season, but Wisconsin only lost 3 games.
Yeah.
So they're pretty darn good themselves and a competitive division in the Big Ten.
Oh yeah, we all want. A lot of us want Kentucky to lose, just for Pete's sake. We want them to lose. I want them to lose because I can't stand John Calipari and what he's done to the game of college basketball. But that's a whole conversation for a whole nother time. I think we've already had it. But I want Wisconsin to win because I just don't like Kentucky. And I don't like the way Calipari has done things. Wow, he's been everywhere he's went. I just don't like how he's done things.
Right. So now the Duke and
people are dumb. There's one guy during the McDonald's All-American game that said he's going to Kentucky because guys like Derrick Rose and what's the other guy? Michael Kidd-Gilchrist went to Kentucky. You dumbass. They did not go to Kentucky. They went to Memphis. Calipari coached them at Memphis, but they did not go to Kentucky. Please do your research before you come across like an idiot on TV. Hence why I'm saying these are the type of guys that Calipari is going to get. These guys that know they're going to go to school for 1 year and get out. That's the kind of guys that he's going to get, but he's got a mentality in their heads now that, you don't have to do nothing. You just come for 1 year and you'll be gone. And guys are, it's not helping the game of college basketball at all whatsoever.
Yeah. And the next matchup, you got Duke. I know, you got Duke that arguably has, like you said, Kevin said, one of the best coaches in the game. They got Okafor, who's supposed to be a top draft prospect. Their team is very interesting because they got Jones and they got Winslow too that are good prospects.
Yeah.
On the other side, Michigan State, you got people. Tom Izzo, he just does work with little to nothing.
Tom Izzo and Billy Donovan kind of remind me of each other. They do so much. They do a lot with a little.
Yes.
Not this year, Billy didn't, because his little was just they were horrible.
Right.
But he does so much with so little, and is able to take them beyond what they should be going. And they're similar in that trait. But Izzo's been doing it for long.
Right. And it's funny.
He's just old.
It's funny that I mentioned Ford because last year we was talking about them possibly winning it. Now they didn't even sniff.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when 70% of your offense leaves.
Yeah. That's true.
That's what happens when you have that big of a gigantic turnaround and you have no talent influx coming in as well.
All right, let's go on to the next question here. Who's your wooden player? I mean, I know you already said AP Award. I already went to Frank Kaminsky. But the five prospects that they have right now is Jarian Grant, D'Angelo Russell, Frank Kaminsky, Jahlil Okafor, and what's the fifth one? The fifth one is right on mine. Oh, Willie Constein as the finalist for the Wooden Award. So
I think Kaminsky will end up winning it, and I think deservedly so. He's been there forever, and he's what college basketball should be about. He's the guy that you should look at and be like, this is the guy that basketball should be about. He had his chances to go pro. Didn't. Stayed in school, refined his game, got even better. So I think he'll end up winning it because he has been the best player on what has been one of the best teams throughout the year. So I definitely.
I agree.
I definitely.
18 points a game, 8 rebounds, and 41% on 2.5 3-point attempt. Like, for his size, it's pretty amazing what he has done.
Look at you being winner.
I know.
Look at you.
I'm. Hey, you know what? I like the guy's game. Like you said, he's there all year that he was.
Good game. A Tim Duncan-esque game. To not saying he's Tim Duncan, but he has a Tim Duncan-esque game.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's very versatile, and I'm thinking like, okay, he's going to get shut down against Arizona. This team is solid on defense.
And then he went off.
He went off,
and the other kid went off.
Yeah. So
I do was shooting his ass off.
Yeah, you talking about Decker?
Yeah, Decker was shooting his ass off.
So I'm very impressed with Frank Kaminsky, and like I love D'Angelo Russell, but the fact that he got bounced early, that he's not going to be there. Jahlil Okafor definitely should be a close second, but his free throw shooting is a concern.
Is Dwight Howard?
Yes. So
he's shacking Dwight Howard as a baby on the free throw line.
So I mean, there's some good names in here that should be recognized, and Jerry Grant, and who is a nephew of Horace Grant.
Yeah.
So.
Harvey Grant's.
Harvey Grant's son.
No one knows who Harvey is. No one remembers poor Harvey. Everybody remembers Horace. So we go with his most popular family member, and we go, that's his nephew. But isn't he Harvey's son? Yes, but he's Horace's nephew.
Right. Everybody, Harvey. Oh, I know Horace, but I don't know.
Who got fouled on that 3-point attempt at the end of the game, by the way, in the Kentucky game, but they didn't want to call that foul. They wanted to call the other foul on Kentucky. It's okay, though. Notre Dame should have won that game.
Such a great game, man. Such a great game. But I want to sit here and give them respect to Notre Dame for taking them to the blink of the eye. Because
Notre Dame should have won that game.
So,
that was crazy. And they went, Kentucky went on the stretch where they had to score, what was it, an 8-0 run at the end of the game to win it?
Right.
Yeah. And then they get a foul called to win the game. It was a foul, but still, really?
Yeah.
Really?
All right. So, me and you agree on the Wooden Player Award. So the next question is, these four coaches, because this is top good coaches here in this tournament. You got Coach K, Mike Krzyzewski, Bo Ryan, Tom Izzo, John Calipari. Now, I want to ask you, which one of these coaches that you would start a program with?
Out of the four guys that's left, it's kind of hard for me to tell which guy I would go with to start my program with. Calipari, no, I don't want John Calipari. Everybody's gonna be like, well, why not? Well, he's just like I said earlier. He's everything that's wrong with college basketball in my mind. I don't want it. The Bo Ryan. They say, oh, he's the newer guy, but he's old. he's still an pretty old dude. Everybody in there has been in the game for a pretty good amount of time. But if I want to start it with one, it's going to be Coach K. Coach K would be the guy I'd want to start my program with, especially if I was starting a brand new program, because he already has that name to where people would want to come play ball for him.
Mm-hmm. So just because the prospects, I'll break out some of the numbers here. Bo Ryan's 537 wins, 86 losses. He's got 3 conference titles and 2 times in the Big Ten tournament that he won. 24-13 in the tournament, so he's 14 years in the tournament. This is
2 Final Four in a row.
Yeah, 2 Final Fours in a row, which is hard to do. He's got 4 consistent All-Americans, one of them being Devin Harris. Y'all know the guard of the Flicker Dallas.
Yeah.
John Calipari, as Kevin admitted, that's the guy he do not want coaching this team. He's got 635 wins, 177 losses. The schools he coaches Massachusetts, Memphis, and Kentucky. 14 times he's a conference champions in all those divisions, and 11 times he's a tournament conference champion. 20 years total that he coaching in general. 16 years in March Madness. He's 47-14. This is his 6th Final Four. I don't know why I got 56 there.
I was like 56.
And got a championship back in 2012. 11 consensus All-Americans, including Marcus Camby, Anthony Davis, John Wall, DeMarcus Cousins, to name a few. Tom Izzo. This guy this is the guy who I would choose personally. 495 wins, 108 licenses, 20 years that he's been coaching. I mean, about the same as Bo Ryan. Bo's been coaching that long too. So 7 Big Ten conference titles. He won it 4 times during the tournament. And he got 4 All-Americans named Jason Richardson, Draymond Green, to name a few. He got Mantine Cleve and Mo Pete. Mo Pete is the other one. And then Coach K, 40 years. This is a guy that's got 1,000 wins, to be exact.
That's a lot of damn wins.
That's a lot of wins. He coached at Army.